that. And so if I am so focused on staying on the line, I can't fulfill my assignment. But my God is big enough to handle my fault, my strokes, grubs, my mess ups, because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Listen, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Oh God, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. But untying. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you you in the illusion. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and welcome to this empowerment session brought to you by Emerge. I'm your host, Isaac J. Miles, and I am so glad that you decided to join me this morning for this conscious conversation. I am looking forward to continuing the conversation that we began on Thursday and discussing some of the corresponding laws rather, that are connected with the law of laws, that is the law of cause and effect. And we're going to get into that in just a few moments. I wanted to take a moment and ask those of you that are joining me this morning. There seems to only be a few of us here this morning, and I really understand that that we're being hampered by the fact that Facebook has decided to freeze a couple of the accounts, and so therefore we're not able to broadcast live on my main page as well as the Emerge page until next month. I guess they don't like people talking about Donald Trump, so it's like, I said some things about Donald Trump and they decided to shut me down. But hopefully those of you who are watching can notify by tagging and sharing in the comments your friends and others that we're over here on the backup page as well as on the YouTube channel, and we'll have our conversations here. Just a couple more weeks to go. We'll be in the month of August and we should be back to normal. So I'm giving a little bit more time for others to join in and to get over here and find us. I shared the broadcast from the backup page to the main page in hopes that a few people will see it there and be able to join the conversation over there. Thank you for those of you who are tagging. Chris, man, good to see you, bro. I'm glad you found me as well. I am. For those of you who don't know, Chris King is on here, Christopher King. He is the one who actually put together our montage at the very beginning, the intro for the broadcast that comes on. He is the creator of that. I mean, he is an absolute genius, an absolute wonder when it comes to doing these kind of computer graphics and other things. So he's just a multi-talented person. He does sound engineering, video technician, all kinds of things. So I mean, he is just a really, really profoundly talented man. And I am so glad to have gotten to know him, to be able to call him friend. I actually did an interview some years ago on his broadcast about homosexuality and the church, and it was just an absolute wonderful experience. And we've been friends ever since then. He's a wonderful person. I'm so glad that you're on here, Christopher. I really do. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for joining me and thank you for tuning in. I'm glad that you are here. Okay, so please tag and share. Y'all be Toya Coffee. I don't think there's anybody that tags more people than Toya Coffee. I can always depend on that. Toya gonna tag everybody on her friends list and everybody else. I mean, I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Everybody that's on, we're glad to have you here. Listen, there are a number of you that are joining us right now. If you will please, you don't have to say much. Just say hello in the comments so that we know that you're out there. If you just want to remain incognito and hide out in the shadows, be Nicodemus, that's okay too. But I'd like it if you would just take a moment and just say hello in the comments or hi, or whatever it is that you like to say, good morning or grand rising or whatever terminology you want to use, just to kind of let me know that you're out there. Those of you who are watching on the main page that I've shared the broadcast to from the backup page, if you comment, I won't be able to see it because, of course, they have that page shut down in a manner that it limits my ability to be able to see anything on there. So, but it's good to have all of you Good to hello, Toya McGill. So good to have you on. Hello, hello. Everybody else, if you will. So if you can, just go ahead and just say good morning or hello or something just to let me know that you're out there. I'm going to try and see if I can see anything on the page. I don't know. They real funny about that. No, they really not allowing me to see. I mean, just nothing. Just a big old "you cannot go live" sign for 12 more days. They mean to keep me shut down. Oh goodness! But I'm gonna keep speaking out. Right is right, wrong is wrong, and so Facebook will just have to deal with it. All right, so let's get into excuse me, our conscious conversation this morning. And I'm late, three, so I haven't had my coffee yet. So I'm gonna have to get it afterwards because I can't get up and make it now. But I'm late. I normally like to have my coffee. Uh, I would have been drinking it while we were on, but don't have it this morning. So we began this conversation about the universal law of cause and effect. This is the law of laws. This law is, you got yours. Don't rub it in. This law is the foundation for all upon which all the other laws that govern the universe or that govern the kingdom of God or govern the spirit world, whatever terminology you want to use. It is upon this law that all the other laws are built. And there are some laws that directly correspond with the law of cause and effect that we're going to get into a little bit of a conversation today about, but I just want to review for a second for those who may not have been with us on Thursday, and that broadcast is still up. So if you want, you can go back and rewatch that on the replay so that you can get the full teaching about the law of cause and effect. But I'm just going to do a brief overview or review. The law of cause and effect is a universal law which specifically states that every single action in the universe has a equal reaction no matter what. Every single action in the universe produces a reaction of equal proportion no matter what. For every cause, there is an effect. Every cause produces an equal, proportionate, consistent, perpetual reaction. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has the seeds of causality in it, which creates this ripple effect of cause and effect continuously happening that has really created this montage of three-dimensional existence that we call Earth and life in this plane of consciousness. Everything is the result of this universal law put in place by God to serve all beings. God is the author and finisher of our faith, that is, of what we know to be true. And those things, these laws that govern the universe, are created and orchestrated and maintained by God. And it put these things in place to serve the greater good of humanity. Cause and effect says that every cause, every action has a corresponding reaction that is consistent and perpetual throughout the universe, across the dimensions, time and space, and all throughout the multiverse. There is a corresponding reaction to every single action. It is consistent, it is perpetual, it does not change, it duplicates and replicates itself as it continues to ripple outward like a pebble being dropped into the water that causes ripples and waves to flow outward. And that effect is felt throughout time, space, dimensions, and throughout the multiverse. Cause and effect. Although you might see the immediate effect, that is, you might see the immediate corresponding reaction take place right in front of you, that is not the end of the effect. The effect is a vibrational field that continues throughout infinity, throughout the universe, because it carries with it the seeds of causation that causes it to continue to reverberate across time and space. Every cause has a corresponding specific effect, but every effect carries with it the seeds of causality, so that the function of this law, the continuation of this law is perpetual. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay, let me give an example. When we talk about the cause and effect, consequentially, every corresponding action or effect has within it the seeds of causation, creating a perpetual ripple throughout space. This is called the butterfly effect, or chaos theory for the physicists. And this phenomenon, what the chaos theory says, the butterfly effect says, is that a minute, localized causality or change in a complex system can produce a large effect somewhere else down the road, or thousands, millions of miles away, or across time, space, and across all dimensions. The chaos theory, or the butterfly effect, is illustrated through the analogy. This is how the terminology came about the butterfly effect, that a butterfly could flap its wings in, let's say, Japan, and the centrifugal force of that wind picking up speed and velocity as it leaves the flickering of the wing of the butterfly can cause a hurricane across the world, on the other side of the world, rather, in another country. That wind that we are experiencing in the hurricane was initially caused by the slight change in the atmosphere caused by the flickering of the butterfly's wing. I had you do an exercise on Thursday. I'm going to ask you to do it again with me real quick. Hold your hand up in front of you. Your hand standing there in front of you, stagnant. It's just there, motionless. Now wave your hands from side to side, if you will. Wave your hands into the air and wave like you just don't care. Y'all know I'm corny. Okay. All right. So when you move your hand, what's happening to the wind that's around your hand? What happens in the space that's around your hand? That space is now disturbed, moved, and motion. Your hand's not just moving. If there is a space around the hand, in between the hand, that when you move, it moves. Well, that space doesn't just shift in a vacuum. It is connected and intertwined with all other space. There's not a difference between the air in the living room and the air in the kitchen. It's all the same air. It may be affected by other variables, such as somebody's cooking in the kitchen. And so there is a scent that now imprints itself upon the air in the kitchen, but it is the same air. You can still breathe it. It still helps you to survive. You can still synthesize it. Are you understanding what I'm saying? All of it is interconnected. The same sun that shines in the United States is the sun that shines in China. The same air that floats around here in this part of the world is the air that is floating in another part of the world, regardless of what Herschel Walker might think with his crazy self. How anybody could, okay, I'm going to get myself in more trouble. They're going to ban this page if I keep talking about that. But he retired. Anyway, same air. Are you understanding what I'm saying? It is the same air. And so when something happens in one part of the world, it affects every part of the world because everything is interconnected, intertwined. Everything is one, yet individualized in different parts of the world and throughout humanity. All of us, as we've discussed before, are the product of one spirit, that is God. All of us, a divine yet unique, individualized expression of God, made in the image and likeness of God, the isness of God, the ether of God, the spirit of God. We are the spirit of God animated in three-dimensional form, individualized in throughout all of humanity, all of these human forms. Everything emanates from God. So there is one. We are one. It is the law of oneness, that there is no separation between you and I, us and the universe, us and nature, us and God. We are one. And so it is impossible. Here's cause and effect. Now, it is impossible for there to be an action without a reaction that is effectuated across the spectrum of that oneness. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay, so the law of cause and effect says all of our thoughts, our human behavior, our movements affect the entire universe according to the law of cause and effect. Since everything is energy, everything moves by energy. Our thoughts are mental units of energy that produce a reality or a three-dimensional presentation of what we have thought. As a man thinketh, so is he. Okay, we understand that thought, word, deed process. Okay, and so our thoughts, our words, and our actions produce a corresponding effect. They're the seeds of causality, producing a corresponding effect that is universal, that remains, that is perpetual. Okay? It is unbreakable. All right? So, I'm trying to take an entire hour and a half long teaching and summarize it in 10 to 15 minutes so that I don't spend all the time there, because I want to talk about some of the corresponding laws with the law of cause and effect. Every single item within the universe is relative and nothing is separate. Therefore, if you move your hand, you are moving the space which surrounds it. And the space is connected to all space within the infinite universe. Therefore, all inanimate objects of the universe are all connected within the same space, occupying that exact same space or mind. There is no separation. And so, if you move your hand, you are moving the space which is connected to the all of everything. You are moving the space that is connected across the multiverse and throughout this three-dimensional existing. Okay, this corresponds to the law of oneness, which postulates that everything is in existence is interconnected with everything else, everything emanating from one source, that is God. Okay, so cause and effect then says, who keeps trying to call me? Okay, so cause and effect says that whatever is the seed of causation produces a corresponding and even predictable reaction or effect. And so we learned that this law, in its design, is designed to serve us. Okay, it's designed to serve us. It often gets a bad name. It's shrouded in this kind of mysteriousness and negativity, where people like, when you talk about sowing and reaping, they're always thinking in terms of negative cause and effect. Consequences. Then consequences are bad. No, consequences are just the eventual predictable outcome of a specific action. 1 + 1 is always 2. 2 + 2 is always 4. It's not that it is either good or bad, positive or negative. It is simply the law doing what it was designed to do. You have to reap what you have sown. You have to get the effect of the seed of causality. If you want to change the effect, then you have to change the cause. If you shift the cause, then you will shift the effect. If you change the seed, then you will change the reaping, the harvest that comes as a result of the seed. But you cannot, let me say again, you cannot sow an apple seed and expect to get bananas. Everything produces after its own kind. Lions don't give birth to bears. Bears don't give birth to giraffes. Giraffes don't give birth to birds. Whales don't give birth to monkeys. Everything produces after its own kind. And so cause and effect says that it is going to create an effect that corresponds with the cause. How does this serve us? And we said this on Thursday. It serves you because what that says to us is that if I find, see, or observe an effect that I'd like to have in my life, that I desire to experience, all I have to do is trace down the cause of that effect and then replicate the cause. If I do repeat or replicate or duplicate the cause, I will get the same effect. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That if I want to have that effect, that reaction, that corresponding consequence to happen in my life, then I simply need to repeat or duplicate the seed of causality that created the effect. This is good news. This is wonderful news because it puts us all on an even level playing field. It says that every single one of us have the same opportunity, that we are not victims of our circumstances, our surroundings, environment, or culture. It says that we can choose what we want our life to look like and how we'd like to experience it by simply employing the law of cause and effect, by simply taking the time to study the effects that we desire to experience in our life, and then tracing them to the initiating cause and then duplicating that cause to produce that effect. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Like I said on Thursday, that there are many people who will say to me, they'll hear me talk about different things and teaching about different things, and they'll like, man, you seem like a walking dictionary. You have so much history and information in your mind, and boy, I'd like to be able to do this, that, and the other. Well, that didn't happen by osmosis. I wasn't born this way. I wasn't. There is an exact, specific cause to this effect. The seed of causation is a lot of studying and researching and memorizing. And if you repeat the same things that I did, you'll get the same effect. There is nothing special about me or anyone else for that matter, no matter what their title is, apostle, prophet, bishop, potentate, pope, and whatever else they call themselves now, cardinals and all this other stuff, whatever they call themselves. There's nothing special about any of them. We are all exactly expressions divinely equipped by God in this earth. We all have equal access to all of everything. And everything that is available to me is available to you, is available to everyone else. The only difference is whether you choose to pursue it or not. Do you desire that effect, or are you desirous of a different effect? And for every effect, for every response, for every experience, there is a specific corresponding cause. All you got to do is just find out what that cause is and duplicate it. Duplicate it. Okay? Right. Reese says for sure. If you don't like something, do something about it. Change it. We all have the ability and the capacity to do so. Okay? We all have the ability. It does not matter. It does not matter. Okay? Right. Everybody's people. Good to see you, Yvette. This is the college graduate. Congratulations again. Okay? So, that's kind of it in a very brief, short nutshell. I want to go on to some of the corresponding laws. And like I said, I discussed this in more succinctly, in more detail in the video from Thursday. It would do you well to go back and listen to that on the replay so that you can fully understand the ramifications of the law of cause and effect. All right, but the law of cause and effect does not exist in a vacuum. It does not exist alone. It is the foundation upon which all the other universal laws are built. It is the foundation. Everything comes back to the law of cause and effect. But it shoots out, what shoots up from it are all of these other laws. I don't want to call them lesser. Let's just say, let's stick with the word corresponding. These other corresponding laws that are built upon the law of cause and effect. Okay? I want you to understand this because, I'm going to deal with the universal one that everybody seems to deal with, and yet I haven't heard very many people talk about it honestly, and that is money. Okay? People, come up with all these different plans and gimmicks and games and hustles in order to dupe people out of money by super spiritualizing, over spiritualizing the event or the having of money. Listen, Everything produces after its own kind. Remember that. That's a law. Everything produces after its own kind. Cows give birth to cows. Birds give birth to birds. Lions give birth to lions. Apple trees produce apples. Okay? Money creates money. Cause and effect. The cause and effect, where money is concerned, is the law, is involved in that, is the law of sowing and reaping, the law of giving, the law of compensation, the law of increase, the law of prosperity, the law of attraction, and the law of rhythm. Now, I'm going to run through all of these because all of these are corresponding laws that work with the law of cause and effect. And I'm using money because that is the most universally sought after thing that among people. But this does not just apply to money. It applies across the board to everything. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Okay? So whatever you want more of, you have to be willing to give or to sow or to release into the atmosphere, release into the universe, release the energy, resonate and produce this energy so that you are able to see it come back to you. Remember that your outer world of form and experience is but a reflection of your inner world of thought and feeling. As above, so below, as within, so without. This is a law. Okay? Every one of us live within the matrix of the reality that we create. Nobody is in control of your life but you. You release the reins of control to other people and places and things when you abdicate the authority that you have as a divine being. When you step away from the throne of your own life and decide to enthrone a religion, a culture, a government, a system, an individual even, then you are handing over the reins of control to someone else to begin to write your script and to create a life for you that you become an actor in rather than the author and the creator of. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Religion and culture and environment are all necessary tools designed to reconnect you with your own divinity, to aid you in creating the life that you desire. They are a tool. They are not an identity. When you begin to make the tool your identity, I'm a Christian, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Muslim, I'm from the hood, I'm from the suburbs, I'm black, I'm Asian, I'm this, when you begin to make the tool your identity, then you embrace all of the corresponding ideology that comes along with that identity. Now you begin to limit yourself, your creativity. You begin to limit your ability, your reach, your experience, and confine it to the parameters of the identity that you have adapted. But when you understand that your identity is your divinity, that is, that you are a divine, unique expression of God that is limitless, boundless, timeless, endless, that has infinite power, infinite capacity, infinite ability, then you live within a mindset and a space that allows you to shift and adjust and change and do whatever best serves you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And I'm not getting away from cause and effect. I am trying to lay the groundwork because I need you to understand these laws are put in place to serve you. But if you don't become intentional about the use of these laws, you're going to interact with them anyway, whether it's unconsciously or consciously, intentional or unintentional. They are inescapable because they govern the world around us. So if you don't become intentional about your interaction with them, then you are living a life of fate and accident and calamity and chaos and confusion, instead of being intentional and deliberate about taking these laws, which are designed to serve you, and begin to use them to cultivate and to curate and to create the life that you desire, that supports your highest good. As I said earlier, the law of cause and effect, the foundational law upon which all the others are built, is designed with you and I in mind. It is designed to give you a tool, the power, a vehicle, a system to create the kind of synergy in your life that produces the life that you desire, the lived experience that you want. You have the observational, intuitive idea and imaginal ability and capacity to observe inwardly and outwardly what you desire to experience in your life. You can conceive it conceptually within your conscious mind, but then you have to have it experientially after you have conceived it. And these laws are what give you the gateway into creating that experience. So the law of cause and effect says that once you have conceptualized a particular effect or experience or consequence that you'd like to have within your life, you have the capacity, the right, the authority, the ability, the strength, the might to be able to recreate the same seed of causality that created that effect. Are you hearing me? Let me keep going. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me read some of the comments here. It says, yes, because when I first changed my beliefs, I was like, who am I? Meaning, I knew, but I didn't know how to describe my divine expression. Exactly. And that is the case for most people when they go through what I call an awakening. When you begin to awaken out of the slumber and sleep of being what society has told you to be, religion has told you to be, environment has told you to be, family has told you to be, culture has told you to be, and start to recognize that I am none of that and all of that. Did y'all catch that? Yes. I am none of that and all of that at the same time. And I get to choose what parts of it, pick and choose, what parts of it I choose to experience within this three-dimensional existence. Theresa says there are so many people that are not even aware of these laws. It's absolutely true. And while I'm not going to go through all of them, there are about 16 of them, 12 foundational, a few others that are what I call sub-laws. I do want to deal with the corresponding ones for cause and effect. Okay. Thanks for this wisdom. Can't wait to get back and study these laws again. Amen. Okay. All right. So I am giving you the tools to curate, create, and to cultivate the life that you desire. And let me say this also. I know I'm getting there, but I need to say this. Especially for some of you who may just be watching for the first time. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming to fix it for you. Allah's not going to fix it. Buddha's not going to fix it. Jesus ain't going to fix it. That's what I said. None of them are coming to rescue you. Nobody's your pastor, your bishop, your apostle, your prophet, your guru, your mother, your father. Nobody's coming to rescue you and fix your life. Iyanla Vanzant can't fix your life either. The only person that can fix your life is you. If it needs fixing, the only one who can shift it, change it, who can cultivate it and sculpt it into what you desire is you. And you are equipped inwardly, internally, with everything that you need in order to cultivate and create the kind of life that you want to have. As long as you are sitting around waiting and leaning and dependent, waiting on Jesus to sweep down and swoop down and swing down his sweet chariot and let you ride, waiting on Allah to come bursting in, or some guru or some prophet to give you a word, you are going to always find yourself on the back end of nothing, always moving from one victimhood to another victimhood, from one victimization to another victimization, from one crisis to the next crisis, because you are living in an area of chaos and confusion, because you have given the reins of control and creativity for your life over to someone or something else. But the moment that you grab onto the reins and recognize the power of everything that is the power of God that is locked up inside you, loaded and coded within your DNA, is the moment that you begin to step into the areas of peace and joy and contentment and prosperity and life and pleasure and abundance that is absolutely available to every human being on this planet. Every being in this plane of consciousness has equal access to this power, this capacity, and this ability to create the life that you desire. It doesn't matter where you started. Doesn't matter where you were born. Doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter what religion you practice. It does not matter. What matters is that you grab a hold to the reins of your own life and begin to do what best serves you. And yes, when you do what best serves you, it's going to piss some people off, because they're still living within the prison. And so don't get mad at them. Don't get upset with them. Don't become cantankerous or contend with them, because they are right where you used to be. And so just let them remain there. Talk with them, counsel them, pray with them if you want, pray for them if you like, but don't be mad and don't get hung up on it. Live your best life. Live the life that you desire, with the understanding of how to intentionally interact with the laws that govern this universe in which we live, so that you can begin to cultivate, create, and manifest what you desire in your life. The law of cause and effect is a law that corresponds, and I'm trying to get back to it because I've almost used up my time. Red day. Oh, but I don't want to run over these comments. Hold on, because it's a conversation. I am the God. Yes, you are the guard of your garden. Everything I need is within. That is absolutely right. You are the God of your garden. Nothing can exist in your garden except you say, let there be. Just as God said, let there be light, let there be fish, let there be firmament. He divided the firmament which were above the waters from the firmament which were below the waters, and it was so. You get to decide what's going to exist in your garden. Let there be joy. Let there be peace. Let there be abundance. Let there be a prosperity. Let there be happiness. Let there be, are you hearing what I'm saying? You get to decide what's going to exist within your world, your garden, that you are cultivating for your life. You're the only one who gets to make that decision. Okay? We are equipped internally to cultivate the life we want to have and live, for sure. A victim mentality cannot reside. Yes, that's right. I'm nobody's victim. It's nobody's fault but mine. Oh my goodness. Okay? It's nobody's fault but mine. I live in the matrix of the reality that I create, and so do you. All right? Okay. So let's talk about this law. Cause and effect, we talked about that. When the seeds of causation are launched forward by an action, by a thought, by a word, by your words you're justified, by your words you are condemned. You live or eat the fruit of that is produced by your own words. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That death and life are in the power of your tongue. Why? Because it didn't begin with your tongue. It began with your conscious thought. Your thoughts become words, and your words become actions. Woo! Thought, word, deed. That's the process of creation. That is the system. It's unbreakable. It is unbreakable. Unbreakable. Whether conscious or unconscious, you are creating that reality. It's unbreakable. Every experience that you've had in your life, whether you label it positive or negative, came through the portal of thought, words, deeds. Every single one. It is inescapable and it is universal. And I hear some of you going like, well, wait a minute, hold on. I am a victim. I didn't ask for this to happen to me, and I didn't ask for that to happen to me. Nothing happens to you. Everything happens for you. All things are working, are intertwined together, are synergistically aligned for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose, and that's all of us. And so while it may not look good, feel good from my human three-dimensional perspective at the moment, it is tied to a greater good and my greater reality and my greater abundance of life that I experience within this earth. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? So nothing is happening to you. Everything happens for you. Everything is for you. If God be for you, or better, since God is for you, what and who and where can be against you? Nothing. Absolutely. It was a rhetorical question when the writer writes it. He is not asking the question as though there is a logistical answer. It is a rhetorical question in the sense of saying there is nothing that can be against you. No one that can be against you. No one can hurt you, harm you, destroy you. Not life, not death, not principality, nor angel. Nothing can hurt you because you are the divine expression of God. And everything, all of the universe is conspiring together to promote your highest good. Let me say that again. All of the universe is conspiring together to promote all of the universe is cheering for you. Everything in creation is having a pep rally, and they're designed to assist and aid you in living the best, most abundant, most prosperous life that you can have. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So when you decide what you want to have in life is the moment that you begin to align your thoughts, words, and actions with the seeds of causality that are necessary to produce the subsequent consequence that you want to have in your life. But you have to first decide you want to be happy. Decide. Come to a conscious decision. I want to prosper financially. I want to prosper emotionally. I want to prosper in my business. I want to be healthy. I want to be happy. Well, decide what it is that you want. and then begin to employ intentionally, deliberately, the seeds of causation necessary to produce the desired effect. And when you do so, you enact these other laws. The law of sowing and reaping says, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Did you hear what I said? Cause and effect, now sowing and reaping. What you sow is what you reap. You sow joy, you reap joy. You sow peace, you reap peace. You sow money, you get money. Here's an announcement for you. For every one of you that's watching me right now, those of you who are hardcore, anti-church, anti-Christian, anti-religion, anti-this, that. I'm not anti-anything. I am for people. That's what I am. I'm for people. And whatever you need and whatever's necessary to get you to your highest good, that's what I want you to have. But for all of you who are anti all of these things, and the number one complaint you have, that it's all about money. That's the reason you broke. That's the reason why you're always financially struggling. Because here is the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. If you want money, you have to be willing to give money. And I didn't say you have to give it to a church, and I didn't say you have to give it to a person, and I didn't say you got to give it, but you do have to give it. You have to be a giver in order to be a receiver. You have to create the seeds of causation, the seeds of causation for financial, reaping financial blessings, if you want to call it that, or income or money is money. You reap what you sow. You cannot sow time and get money. Y'all didn't hear what I said. You have to sow the money to get money. Are you hearing me? So whatever it is that you want to receive, you have to be willing to give. Give what it is you want, and you'll have more of it. Lord, give what you not want, but desire. Want gives the connotation of lack and scarcity. There is no lack or scarcity. There's only abundance. But give what you desire to manifest, and it will manifest back into your life. The laws of the universe demanded, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Not just that, but then there's the law of compensation. This law of compensation, the visible manifestation of this law the law of compensation is the visible manifestation of the law of cause and effect. Let me say it again. The law of compensation is the visible manifestation of the law of cause and effect. Okay? It is applied blessings or gifts or money or relationship or material thing. The law of compensation says that the universe is put into a deficit or a debt whenever you release or give anything out into the atmosphere. In other words, the universe or the spirit world or the anointing or God, whatever terminology you want to use, has to pay you back. Everything in the universe is balanced. Oh, God have mercy. Everything under the heavens is balanced. Everything operates according to balance. And so if you are giving it, if you are doing it for others, if you are helping, if you are sowing it, if you are releasing it, the universe now owes you a debt, and it always equals out or pays its debt or balances the book. You will be compensated. And yeah, there's a negative end to that, but I'm not even trying to discuss the negativity of it, because that's not the goal. That's not what we're focused on. Ain't nobody in here trying to do nothing silly or stupid or crazy that's going to cause you to get compensation. for that stupidness or the craziness. We're talking about bettering your life. We're talking about empowering you to live in abundance. That the universe is in a deficit and a debt. It owes you to compensate you for what you have released. It is the visible manifestation of the law of cause and effect. That because I have released this cause, this action into the universe, and now the desired effect has to come back to me, and it is my compensation for the seed of causation. Okay? So what I sow is what I reap. The universe always balances the books, and so I don't ever have to worry about a return. I don't ever have to worry about it coming back to me, because it will. I don't ever have to worry about, well, you sowed your seed into the wrong ground. There is no wrong ground. You know what? Let me say it again. Woo! I just made some folk real mad then because I messed up your hustle. Because you want people to think that you're the good ground and that other places may not be good ground, but I'm good ground, fertile ground over here. And all ground is good ground. It has nothing to do, you know what makes the ground good? Your intention. Lord have mercy. I don't care if they're a shyster, if they're a con man, if they're running game, if they scamming. If you approach it with the right intention, with pure intention, with righteous intention, then you are compensated because you acted with the proper intention. Your action was pure, regardless of what their intention was. There is no bad ground. I just threw that money away, child, giving it to them because they wasn't nothing but a crook. You ain't thrown nothing away if you gave it with the right. If you gave it out of a pure heart, if you released it out of purity, out of righteousness, out of goodness, because you desired to sow or to give or to release into that person's life, then you haven't lost anything. You can't lose. Ooh. Lord have mercy. My namesake, Reverend Ike, coming up in me now. I feel Reverend Ike. You can't lose with the stuff I use. And you can't. You absolutely, there is no possibility of losing. You cannot lose. Let me say it again. You cannot lose. And even when you are stingy, that word, that's an old word right there. But even when you are stingy, even when you are stout-hearted, even when you decide that I'm not giving nobody nothing, you still giving. You giving attitude, you giving your own disposition, you giving your own negativity, and guess what? You will be compensated. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap, whether you sow it consciously or unconsciously, intentional or unintentional. The universe doesn't know you playing. The universe doesn't know that you just fooling around, that you joking. The universe takes what your thoughts, words, and deeds align to, and then produces it back to you. All of nature brings it right back to you. God causes it to manifest within your life. So even when you decide, now I wish I would, I ain't doing that. It's all about me. Guess what? You still getting. You're still getting. You're just interacting in a way that's going to now cause you to have compensation that you don't desire. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And so you find yourself either always broke or always just right there at the medium level of just barely getting by, just having enough, trying to make ends meet. And no matter how much money you make, no matter how high your salary is, you still find yourself struggling. Why? It ain't got nothing to do with the job. It has nothing to do with your income. It has to do with where your mindset is. Because you are working against the very nature of your being. You are the divine spirit of God manifested in three-dimensional form. And God is love. And the essence of love is generosity. So when you act in opposition to generosity, you are working against your very nature. You're the very core of your existence and your being. You are a born giver. You are born generous. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You are created to give to this world, your time, your talent, your treasure, your ability, your thought, your creativity, your ideas, your isness, your essence, your goodness, it is within you. It is an innate part of your being. It is loaded and coded within your DNA, and you are designed to release it and share it with all the world that is around you. And when you decide to act in opposition to that, you are stifling yourself. You're not hurting anyone else. You are stifling your own lived experience and shutting the cap on your own abundance. Are you understanding what I'm saying? The law of sowing and reaping, the law of compensation. Then there is the law, watch this, here's the other corresponding law. It is the law of increase. Woo. Huh. The law of increase says that whatever you release into the universe, whatever you sow, whatever you give, whatever you provide, it not only comes back to you, but it comes back in greater proportion than what you sent out. Butterfly effect, chaos effect, cause and effect. The butterfly flaps its wings and it's just a flicker of wind, but by the time it reaches the other side of the world, it has become a whirlwind and a hurricane. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That you are good to one, and then you reap the goodness back from 30, 50, 100, 1,000. Are you understanding what I'm saying? That you always get back an increase or more or in greater proportion than what you have given. Here is the law that's found in Luke chapter 6, verse 38. Give, and it shall be given unto you. It shall be given unto you. What you gave, it shall be given unto you. But how do you get it back? Good measure, Lord have mercy, shaken together, pressed down and running over. You get back in greater proportion than what you gave. The law of increase says that when I decide to give of myself, my time, my creativity, my talent, my money, my thoughts, my ideas, my goodness, my joy, my love, my peace, my compassion, my mercy, I receive it back in larger proportion than what I've given. That is a universal law. It is exemplified and personified throughout all of nature. You plant one apple seed, you get an apple tree that has multiple apples in it and is filled with other seeds so that the process can begin all over again. That's the law of currency. That I'm going to get to that one in a moment. But that you produce a tree that has multiple apples with seeds within them, all from the one seed. And the more seed you sow, the more trees that you produce with the multiple fruit that are on them. Because the law of increase says that's the way the universe and nature works. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I said, do you hear what I'm saying? Every seed is increased. Every seed is increased. Every seed is increased in its return back to you. The harvest is always greater than the seed. Lord have mercy, that's good. Somebody need to write that down. I said the harvest is always greater than the seed. I'm going to put that one down in my notes myself. Give me a second. Let me write this down. What did I just say? The harvest is always greater than the seed. Man, I could do a whole teaching just on that one right there. The harvest is always greater than the seed. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Yes. Okay? And so I don't want you to get bogged down on money. It applies to money. Money is absolute. Money ain't nothing but energy. Let me tell y'all something. It ain't nothing but paper and coin that are made of different materials from the earth. That's all that it is. We are the ones who give it value. People give value to money. Y'all ain't saying nothing. People are what give value to money. We supply the value to the money. So producing more, they can go to the printing press and print out more money anytime they get ready. They do it all the time. That's why the country has a national deficit right now. We just keep printing out money. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Put more money in circulation to try and boost the economy. People give value to money. That's it. But in its rawest form, it's just material from the earth that we have decided as a collective part of society, this money has this value. This stone or this mineral has this value, gold. Who decided that? We did. We did. Humanity decided that those things are of value. In other highly evolved societies, money's never even used. But that's a whole nother conversation. That I don't want to get into that because then I'm gonna start talking about other lives in other dimensions, and that's not the conversation today. We got to deal with the laws. Okay, but I said that to say that, yes, money is included, but it's not the only thing. This is inclusive of everything. Whatever you desire to manifest, and you want an increase in your life, you want an increase of joy, be joyful. Be joyful, spread joy, give joy to others. You want an increase of happy? Be happy. You want an increase of friends? Be friendly. You want an increase of strategic partners? Be a strategic partner, and watch you start to attract more and more and more and more into your life. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay? That is the law of increase. The harvest is always greater than the seed. So you got the law of cause and effect, the law of compensation, the law of sowing and reaping, and the law of increase. Hold on. There is also the law of currency. Circulation is the word. The law of circulation, not currency. Currency is involved. What we call money is currency from the root word current, because it creates a flow. Lord have mercy. But money is not the only currency. Some of you have the gift of gab. That's your currency. Some of you have a winning personality. That is your currency. You can create a current by using your currency. What do I mean by that? You plant the one seed, it produces a tree that has multiple fruit on it, but inside of each one of those fruits are other seeds. And it's not one seed, it's several seeds that are inside the fruit, so that you're able to begin the process again. Why are those seeds there? You don't eat the seeds, you plant the seeds. You don't swallow the seed, you plant the seed. You don't discard the seed, you plant the seed, so that you can produce more of what produced the tree that you wanted in the first place. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Lord have mercy. The same is true when you're talking about the law of circulation or currency. You take your currency, which may be your money, or it may be your smile, or your personality, or your talent, or your creativity, or your skill, and you sow it. It comes back to you with an inevitable increase, law of increase that we already talked about. You get this enormous harvest of increase that comes back, but within it are seeds of causality, seeds for you to be able to do it again, to replicate what caused the initial harvest in the first place, so that you're able now to create a current. Your currency creates a current. Are you understanding what I'm saying? There are certain farmers that will plant certain seeds in a particular season, and then when the harvest comes, they don't just eat the harvest, they sell off the harvest in order to be able to supply them with income and other things, but they also take the seeds of the harvest to plant again. And so they have one crop after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, and they create a current by using their currency, which is their crop, to create a current of ongoing income or influx of the crop that they want to produce. Ladies and gentlemen, your money works the same way. That's the reason it's called currency. It's designed to create a current. Your money creates a current of money, currency, to come into your life. Whew. And I spoke to this already, but I'm going to speak to it again. Just recently, Creflo Dollar came out and he was saying, that tithing is wrong and this, that is unbiblical, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And I am so glad and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for where he is because he's going through an awakening. It's a dramatic change and a shifting in his mindset. And I can understand because I was there at one point. And so I understand that you have a tendency to now, when you start to awaken to a more revelatory, a higher realm of truth, that you want to try and denigrate everything that you've ever known and say that it's absolutely wrong. It's not wrong. It's just been taught and applied wrong. It's not that tithing is wrong. It's not that tithing is evil. Tithing, like everything else, is just a mechanism. It's a tool. Just like giving to the poor or giving into a homeless shelter or giving to, to a friend or to a loved one or helping someone with their rent. It's just a mechanism or a tool or a vehicle that can be used in order to create your current. That's all it is. Tithing is a vehicle through which you can create your current. That's all it is. That's all it is. That is all it is. There's not a curse attached to it. There's not all these other kind of, it's not mandatory. It's not God gonna get you and you gonna do that. That's the religious part of all of that. But if you understood the principle and look beyond the principle, look beyond the rhetoric, the religious rhetoric, and focus on the principle and the practice, then you will understand that it is simply a mechanism or a tool that can be used in order to create a current of currency that comes into your life. Now, if you don't want to use that tool, you don't have to. It's neither right nor wrong. It's just a tool. A hammer is not right or wrong. It's how you decide to use the hammer. If you use it to build a house, it's good. If you use it to knock somebody out, are you understanding what I'm saying? So if you use tithing as a means to manipulate and control, well, it's bad. But if you use it as a means for people to be able to create a current for themselves, then it's good. And the way religion has exercised it or used it, it has been a tool of manipulation and control, attaching with it all of these ideas of curses and God gonna get you, and that's why you don't have this, and you're gonna go broke, and that's manipulation. Anytime you have to coerce people to do something, manipulate them to do something, it's not coming from a pure place, it's coming from fear. They're getting out of fear. They're releasing it out of fear. And so guess what happens? Guess what happens? They reap what they have sown. That's why I said so many people that are tithing and it ain't working for them. They tithe and they still struggle. They tithe and they still broke. They tithe and they still can barely make ends meet because they're not tithing out of a heart of purity because they desire to, because it's something that they want to do in order to be able to create a current for themselves. They're tithing because they're scared of what the pastor said that God gonna do to them if they don't. So you reap the fear that you've sown. You haven't really given anything where money is concerned. All you're doing is release fear and trepidation and doubt and unbelief into the atmosphere. Woo! I know I made some of my church people mad with me right there. Some of you. But then some of you are just looking for an out because you don't want to give. And that's fine if you don't want to be a giver. You don't hurt anyone by not being a giver but yourself, because you're working against your very nature. You're working against who you are at the substratum of your being. So whether you give by using tithe, or you do by offering, or you do it by helping someone on the street corner, or helping a homeless man that's begging on the corner, or helping out a family member, or opening the door for someone, or you give to someone who are by helping with their rent, or helping them to meet a particular need, or sowing into their life your time or your talent or your creativity, you are still giving. It is important that you are a giver. Okay? Don't make excuses to be nasty, stingy, and a tightwad. And you don't have a problem with giving. You just got a problem with giving the church and giving. You got a problem with giving the preachers because there's been so much manipulation, control, foolery, and con men and scams that have gone on. But remember that even if you gave to some of the con men and the scammers, if you did it out of a pure heart and not out of fear, then you're going to reap. You can lose. Okay? That's what you have a problem with, because you don't have a problem with giving. You give all the time. You give to all the bad mouths. I almost said something just. Ooh, the ghetto end was about to come out of me right there. But you give to all those persons, glory to God, that you decide to Cashapp, and you decide to send a Zelle to, you decide to give this one, that one, and the other, because they said that if you give me this, then I'll give you that. You don't have no problem with giving. You give to the people that you want to give to. You give to the things that you want to give to. You just right now turned off with religion, and that's fine. Don't give to religion then. But don't stop being a giver. Okay? Teresa, you know where I was getting ready to go, don't you? You know I was, I had to catch myself. I'm like, Lord, they're going to shut down this page too. Let me try to behave. What's crazy to me is that other folks can come online and say all kinds of crazy, stupid stuff, and they'll never bother them. I get on here and I'm just speaking truth, and I speak about political issues and other things like that, and they come right after me immediately. Boom! I feel attacked. I feel picked on. That is the law of increase, the law of currency, the law of circulation. So we talk about the law of cause and effect, the law of sowing and reaping, the law of compensation, the law of currency, and the law of increase. Okay? Man, I could go into a lot more. Law of rhythm, the law of vibration. Oh, goodness. I don't have time to go through all of these because I've already been on for over an hour. I'm way over time. I'm like 24 minutes over my time. Are y'all getting anything out of this? Does this help anybody? Y'all say something in the comments, please. I just need to know that I'm not barking up the wrong tree and wasting my breath. Because if it is, I can talk about something else. We can talk about a whole nother subject if this is not helping. Is this helping anybody? Y'all, I don't see no comments popping up yet. Y'all type slow. Okay, I got 2 yeses. Okay, so I only helped 2 people out of the, 11, 12 people that's on here. Only helped 2 people. Only 2 people were helped by it. But I believe the others of you were helped because you're still on here. So either you're on here because you're being helped by it, or you're on it because you're like, let me see what this old crazy Negro's saying. Girl, come here and look at this. Listen, he on again. Ain't no telling what that fool gonna say. But seriously, if it's helping you, then please just type a yes. That's all. Just type yes. I know there's more than just 2 of you on here because I can see the numbers up here. Okay? Up 3. Well, up to 3. Okay? Oh, thank you, Dee Dee. Dee Dee always gonna say yes. You have no choice but to say yes. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, I'm seeing more yeses popping up now. There we go. Good, good, good. Okay, I'm glad to hear it. 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 All right. So I'm going to stop right here. Like I said, I'm 25 minutes, almost 26 minutes over my time. We'll be back on Thursday. And how about we just pick up here? And I'll just go through all the other laws as well. 12 major, four other, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Four other minor. I hate to call them minor because they're not minor, but you understand what I mean. Laws as well. And we'll go through all of them. We'll just take our time and go through them and discuss how they operate within this world. All right. With that, let me get ready to sign off. If you'd like to give and support the work that I'm doing here, you can. No manipulation, no control, no coercion. You're not going to get a new house if you give to me. You're not going to get a new car if you give to me. You're not going to get a new husband if you give to me. I'm not, promising you that you'll never be broke again and God gonna bless you. I am a vehicle through which you can begin to create a current. If you'd like to give or sow currency into this particular work that I'm doing, then you do begin to create a current for yourself. I become one of the many vehicles that are available for which you can give. Thank you for those of you who do tithe to this work, who give consistently to this work. Thank you for those of you who don't have, who choose not to give any money, but you give your prayers and your thought and support, your presence by being on these lives. I appreciate each and every one of you. There are some of you that faithfully give financially and support the work. There are some who never give anything financially, but you're here. I appreciate you all equally, and I'm thankful for your support. If you'd like to give, let me put up the little thing there here. Where's it at? There it is. Financially, then you can do so by using the means that you see on your screen right now. And I'm still celebrating my birthday. I'm going to celebrate the entire month of July. So if you want to send me a birthday gift as well, you can do that by using the means that you see on the screen. And I am more than happy to receive it. Okay. I appreciate your generosity. I appreciate your support with your time, with your financial gifts, with your presence being here on these lives. All right, so in about 12 days, according to Facebook, I'll be back on the main page again, so you'll be able to catch me on all the pages again in about 12 days. But until then, this is the way that will still be coming to you. If you're watching on the main page, on the shared broadcast that's there, go ahead and send a friend request to this backup page. It should be listed right above. And I will accept the friend request immediately so that you'll be able to be on the live page that's active right now. If you want to make sure that you don't miss any of our conversations or broadcasts, use the information that's scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now to sign up for our free text notification. Those who are signed up, you know that I will always send out a text right before we get ready to go on the air so that you don't miss it. Text the word emerge to 833-444-0163 and you automatically be signed up. Doesn't cost you a thing. It costs me. I pay for it. You don't have to pay a thing. It's just a way of being able to stay in contact with you and to let you know when we're getting ready to come on the air. All right, I think I've covered everything. Thank you all for tuning in. I absolutely love and appreciate you. I hope you're having the best day ever. And if you're not, then get outside and do something to make it a great day. Go out and commune with nature today. Hug a tree, walk in the sand, go to the beach. Go to a museum, go to a park, go to a concert. I'll go visit some friends, have some coffee or something a little stronger, whatever you desire. Yeah. But get out and do something that'll make you happy, make you laugh today. Have some fun. And I'll see you again real soon. Goodbye, everybody.